You're listening to the One Man Show Network. Welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast with your host, Aaron Weinbaum.
Hey everyone, welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast. I am your host, Aaron Weinbaum. This is a special bonus. Throw me a bonus. I have that on a sound card, or a sound bite thing, but I didn't have it hooked up. We're going to pick some Bellator fights. I'm going to pick the top 3 fights here. And I'm going to talk a little bit about UFC 4. So all you gamers out there who think this is going to be an in-depth game talk, let me tell you something. The video game world has passed me by since Mario Kart, but as I got older, I still like to get the UFC game when it comes out. I used to get the old wrestling games when they came out, but I don't watch WWE or anything anymore anyways. Now, this is an interactive pod, so if you are on, I'm only streaming from Periscope today, but soon, hopefully, I'll have some multi-streaming news. It all depends on where I am and what my internet connection is and whatnot. I need an updated computer, so anyone want to give me a good deal on a good, brand new MacBook computer, I'm down. I mean, help a brother out. But no, I almost have the credit card points to buy it, but I'm just not going to do it. So if you are on Periscope, like I said, feel free to hang out with me if you want to do that. And I got all kinds of windows. This is the problem here. So now with this computer, this is like a 6-year-old computer. This is a little more information than you want, but there's a bunch of live streamers out there that need to know this. This computer's 6 years old. It's a MacBook Pro. It was great at the time, but I got, you got an HD camera coming through. You got this, you got that. What's up? What's up? W Dog Simpson has joined. What's up, buddy? So yeah, so all kinds of things go into that. It's just kind of weird. So now with all the streaming capabilities and everything a computer do, I can make a Skype call and live stream without my computer just totally bogging down. And I've had some good guests on here before. Aljamain Sterling, Ally Quinta twice, James Lynch, of course. And I want to get back to doing that. So like I said, feel free to chime in on these picks. So UFC 4. Okay, like I said, the video game world has passed me by since Mario Kart. And let me explain that. I'm talking, probably 20 years ago. My sister, who was 7 at the time, and I was in my 20s, was beating my ass at Mario Kart, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I had to kind of just, I was like, I'm done. The world has passed me by. Metroid is not a thing anymore. The Nintendo, I had the Nintendo, like that was my game. I did have the original Atari. Now all y'all don't know what that is. It had like Pitfall and Pong and all that kind of stuff. So that's going way out there. So I do like the UFC 4 game, but I can't figure it out, man. So these takedowns are weird. I can't do the submissions. Ben Askren got his ass beat when I played with him. Like he could wrestle and that was it. I don't feel like they were being very fair to Funky Ben Askren here. But, it is what it is. And I'm just going to tell you. So I just don't get it. I don't do the online thing. My kids do it. I guess maybe I could have went on one of their accounts and did it. But I don't do the online stream thing or else I'd like to play some of y'all, but I'm just terrible at it. And, that's what did I do when I got my ass beat? Oh, Ngannou. I tried to do Ngannou versus DC just for fun because, maybe if DC would have won, that would have been the fight. I know he said he was going to retire, but you never know, man. And I couldn't get a punch off Ngannou, like nothing. And DC just beat the shit out of me. Go. Explicit tag, sorry. But yeah. So anyway, I'm going to help pick some fights, or I'd like your help to help. I can't talk today. This is what happens when you live stream. I can't talk, and we all know I'm not going to go back and edit here. So let's pick some fights. I'm going to put it out there on the Twitter right now. I've almost got this whole setup down. I've been tweaking this for the last year or so. And here we go. And I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to go to one of my, I'm going to peel the curtain back, kids. I got what you call the parody account. So I'm going to go, I'm going to go to one of the parody accounts and I'm going to retweet this because I don't ever do that. I just want to see if it works. So let's see right now. Boom. I'm going to see if anyone wants to chime in here. Okay. So those of you that are just joining me from the Aya Quinta Realty retweet, feel free to help me pick some Bellator fights, and you could chime in. I just talked about UFC 4 a little bit and how terrible I am. I think, if this game was realistic, I think Quinta should beat you and then try to sell you a house. But that's it's not what happened. So I don't know the validity of this game without somehow Ali Quinta being able to insert his real estate prowess, if you will. And what was the other thing? Oh, DC calling his own fight. That's hilarious too. So I played with DC and he called his own fight. So it's just Anik and DC in this game. There's no Rogan factor, I believe. And I couldn't figure out how to get past the creative fighter. I didn't want to create a fighter. Like, you guys now in the creative fighter. So back in the day, there were these old WWE games and WCW games and whatnot, and you could create your own wrestler, and you could create one just like, like say you had a WWE game and you wanted to be like Sting or whatever. So you could do that, but you had to go like on the internet and you had to print pages of stuff on like how to do it, and you had to make your own character. It could do the new, like the Scorpion, whatever. God, I can't remember what it's called, but it was just like the sharpshooter, and that was Sting's move. Okay, enough about that. We're gonna pick some fights. Like I said, leave a comment on the Periscope, the Twitter, or whatever. And let's figure this out. We're gonna go heavyweight first. Roy Nelson versus Valentin Moldavsky. Okay, I was just talking about this with somebody else in a Reddit group. How crazy is this that Roy Nelson could be one fight away from a heavyweight title shot, or Frank Mir, who just beat Roy Nelson. I mean, there's nobody in this heavyweight division. Mitrione just lost. Tim Johnson? Could Tim Johnson be next up for the heavyweight division title? Possibly. This is insane. They have no depth whatsoever except for the guy that beat Matt Mitrione. Can't remember his name. Gosh darn it, I'm going to have to look it up real quick. Matt Mitrione. All right, so Matt Mitrione just fought. I think this guy would probably be the closest. Oh, Sergey Kharitonov. So Sergey Kharitonov. So he is probably next in line for that belt. But just saying, we could be like 2 degrees of separation here from Roy Nelson or Frank Mir fighting for a belt. Isn't that insane? I mean, I don't like to use the word washed up. They're not washed up. They're just aged a little bit. But I'm going to take a look here at Roy Nelson. Okay, 4 losses in a row. I'm trying to think, has he won one time? Yes, he has won one time since going to Bellator. That was back in 2017 against Javi Alea. Loses a majority decision to Matt Mitrione. Gets KO'd by Kharitonov. So loses a decision. Where the hell was this? He fought Krokop? I guess he did in February 2019. Weird. So I thought Krokop was like long retired. But yeah, okay. And of course he lost to Frank Mir. And apparently the story is Frank Mir knew that Roy Nelson was hurt. Okay, let's look at Valentin here. I don't know much about him. He's Russian. So it's a feather in his cap. The guy hasn't lost since 2016. He fought Linton Vassell. So is this guy possibly? Yeah, this guy could possibly be like a glorified heavyweight here. He may not be an actual heavyweight, but let me see here. No, he is. So I'm not really sure how he fought Linton Vassell, unless Linton Vassell moved up a weight class. So Javi Alea back in February this year by decision, Linton Vassell decision, TKO'd Ernest James. I mean, Roy Nelson's been in there, but this guy looks like he's been around a bit too since 2015 or so. So that's 5 years, but I don't know. I don't know how hard Roy Nelson trains. It's just hard for me to. It's hard for me to believe in him. It's hard for me to get on the Roy Nelson train anymore. And I just tend to think that Roy's best days are behind him, or I don't know. I think this guy's more concerned about drive-thrus than fighting. So I don't see Roy Nelson winning. I don't know a lot about this guy, but I don't know. I don't know who Roy Nelson beats anymore in this modern day era of MMA, of heavyweights, of guys, guys that are just trained to be heavyweights, and Dana White said it best. He doesn't want to see him fight at 205, but why not like 230? I mean, that belly, dang. Well, and that stinks because back in the day I was a Roy Nelson fan because I think Roy is super skilled here. He can be super skilled and durable and whatnot, but I think at one time he held the record for most times hit. That kind of hurt in the UFC. So kind of crazy here. Kind of crazy. So Julia Budd, Jessie Maley, I believe that's how you pronounce it because I know a friend that has a name like that and it's spelled correctly. All right, let's take a look here. And I do need to know. Yeah, she is a 145 pounder. This is her second fight in Bellator. She just beat, I don't know if there's any relation or not, Talita Nogueira, Elizabeth Phillips back in CES, Kylie O'Hearn. She did lose to Charmaine Tweet, and that was a unanimous decision back in 2016. Listen, there are 4 featherweight women in the world that are of notoriety, and it's Julia Budd, it's Amanda Nunes, it's Chris Cyborg, and probably Felicia Spencer's in there somewhere. But the top 2 by far, I mean, number 1 is Amanda Nunes, and then there's a separation at number 2, and then there's really nobody else. So sorry, 145 pounders. I don't see, looking at Julia Budd, she did lose to Cyborg. That was her first loss in a long time since Ronda Rousey back in 2011. All right, she's just beating chicks, but she got TKO'd in the 4th round. Just lots and lots of wins. But I think Julia Budd's right there too, and I don't see her losing against Jessica Mealy. Okay, Ryan Bader. So this is interesting to me because I thought he would have trouble making the weight. The guy has not fought at light heavyweight in a long time, and as you get older, it is not easy to cut that weight. So I'm going to take a little looky-poo here. He had that no contest. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. He did fight at heavyweight for the, against Czech Kondo. I forgot Czech Kondo had that fight. I figured he's kind of in that mix too. You could see a Czech Kondo. How crazy is this? You could see a Czech Kongo Frank Mir Part 2 for the heavyweight, like a title eliminator. Isn't that insane? And Frank Mir, that's kind of he was kind of having his second prime there, and he beat him. He knocked him out because he said Chuck Kondo had that European head up boxing, and Frank Mir was looking for it. I think Frank Mir has a million different answers for how he was training. If he wins a fight, he always says like, "Well, that's why I was training for this." And every time, and I don't believe you. So, gosh, I do have a lot of viewers here, but no one's helping me pick. But that's cool. That's cool. So no contest. Chuck Kongo, Ryan Bader poked him in the eye. KO's Fader. Basically wrestles Matt Mitrione to death. TKO Muhammad Lawal, King Mo, Linton Vassell, Phil Davis decision. That was a real close fight. It's kind of strange. And then, back in his UFC days, back in 2016, wins, except for, he got knocked into the next planet by Anthony Johnson, but that was a long time ago. Let's look at this. This Nemkov apparently is no joke, and I don't know a whole lot about him, except for the guy hasn't lost since 2016, but, who's he? He does have a win over Philip Lins. He's a heavyweight now in the UFC, but he TKO'd. Oh, yeah, Liam McGarry. I do remember that. Liam McGarry with leg kicks. Another split decision. Phil Davis, they have that in common. Rafael Carvalho. But, rear naked choking. But I think Carvalho, I'm going to look this up. I thought he was a middleweight anyways that just possibly moved up. Yeah, he is. So that's not as impressive. Gosh, both had close fights against Phil Davis. That's kind of interesting here to me. What's this whole new for me? Everyone says, this is what the internet means for me. Well, this is what this fight means for me. Phil Davis, I think he's about durable as anyone. Liam McGarry, he's kind of up there too, but, man. This is interesting. I got to go with the momentum of Bader. I think he's just a whole different animal. This will decide if his meteoric rise since going to Bellator has something to do with the lack of competition, or if he's just gotten that much better. Because this guy is not qualified as lack of competition, okay? And I'm going to pick Ryan Bader. I think people are sleeping on Vadim Nemkov, but in the end, I'm going to go with Bader. So that's it. If no one wants to say hi or pick a fight, I'm going in 3, 2, 1. Shalom.
Please remember to support the podcast by visiting the affiliate links on AaronSaysWhat.com.